All right, good morning. Happy Wednesday. I know this is that hard day where you go to all your classes. It's a hard day for me too. First of all, make sure you look at Zangle and make sure that everything's correct with your grade. With so many different students doing different things, it's really caused a lot of chaos with me. And so I just want to make sure that everything is correct. So if there's any kind of issue, don't be afraid to let me know so I can take a look at it. Also, I'm sending out progress reports on Friday. If you get a progress report, it does not mean that you're failing necessarily. It means that it might be because of absences, and that means if you continue to be absent, you could fail. It could be because of missing assignments, which means if you keep missing assignments, you could fail. And it has to do with low exam scores, which is if you consistently get low exam scores, you're going to possibly fail. So the thing about me grading, it's different than English. In English, it's subjective, how you're writing. So I don't know if a teacher doesn't like your style. To me, it's like the teacher could be persuaded to grade a certain way. With me, I just hit a button. So 20% is for your assignments and 60% is for the exams and the 20% is for a final. So I don't base a grade on a feeling. Today, because I'm going to be real strict about late work and everything else, I do want to go over what I expect one more time. So the first thing I want to do is I want to share my screen with you and talk about exams. All right, can you guys see this?
Yeah.
Yeah, I posted this just recently. And on Tuesday the 10th, you're going to take exam 1, 4, 1, 5, and 8. You can enhance your overall grade if you do well. You have 60 minutes to complete the exam and an extra 15 minutes to submit it. I'm giving you ample time to do everything that I'm asking for. So I kind of changed this up a little bit. You have 15 extra minutes to submit your scratch paper to Google Classroom to justify your work. In order to get credit, your scratch paper must be legible and formatted like an assignment. And I'm going to go over that again. For each given exercise, you must write the original problem, show your work, and circle the answer or answers. You're welcome to take an exam earlier. However, you may not take an exam later without teacher permission. I'm going to follow this to the T. Make sure that you understand what it is I want. So let me stop sharing, and I'm going to show you the assignment format again. All right, so the way you're supposed to do an assignment is you're supposed to have your name, date, period, and on this piece of paper, I wrote exam. Open it up. You are to write problem number 1 here, and you are to write the original problem. Now, let's say that the problem has 5,000 words in it. I don't expect you to write 5,000 words. I expect you to write what the problem is in a short format. I'll say that again. If it's a word problem, I don't expect you to write all the words. I expect you to possibly write the function y equals 2x squared and a point. Write 1 up 2. So you are to write the original problem. You are to work vertically and circle your answer. If you do not have your scratch paper like this, I'm not going to look at it. So I'll say it again. You need the original problem, work vertically, and and circle your answers. If it's a graph, draw the graph. Below that, you are to work problem number 2. Below that, you're to work problem number 3. When you run out of room, go to this. So it's like 2 pages. It's like 2 columns. So this would be problem number 4, 5, and 6. You can either now get a new sheet of paper, or you can just turn it over and do 7, 8, and 9, and number 10, 11, 12 here. Does anybody have any questions about how I want the scratch paper? Because I'm not gonna accept any garbage. So I'm just letting you know I'm over it. You must do what I'm asking, and if you don't, I'm not gonna look at it. Any questions about the assignment format that I want for the scratch paper? All right. Well, with that, I'm going to finish up lesson 1.5 with a problem that is called average velocity of an object. And so this is going to look familiar to you from what I did yesterday. So yesterday, I taught you the average rate of change, and I gave you a formula, delta y over delta x, right? Well, this is going to look very familiar because it's going to be the same exact thing. Also, you might, if you're going to be taking physics, you might have this in physics, or you may have already had it in physics. It's the average velocity of an object. So check this out. It's delta S over delta T. And let me assure you, it means delta Y over delta X. And it equals S of T sub 2 minus S of T sub 1, where this is the change in Y over the change in X, where S of T is equal to the object's position and T, which is X, is time. So S of T is Y, it's the object's position, and T is X, which is time. So check out this problem. It says the distance S of T, which is Y, in feet traveled by a ball rolling down a ramp is given by S of T, which is Y, and this is a quadratic being vertically stretched. So in A, they're saying that T sub 1, which yesterday you saw me write X sub 1, so T sub 1 is 2 seconds to T sub 2, which is 3 seconds. Can you guys see this okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to write down the formula. Delta S over delta T is equal to S of T sub 2 minus S of T sub 1 over T sub 2 minus T sub 1. And you do realize if you write this 3 or 4 times, you already memorized it. And I do recommend that you write it down so that you use this as your roadmap. So this shows you where you're going. So this would be S of 3 minus S of 2 over 3 minus 2. Easy, just plug it in. So they're telling us that the function is 5t squared off to the side of your paper. So we're going to evaluate S of 3. So that means put a 3 in for t, and make sure you follow the order of operations. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, which is 5 times 9, which is 45. So when x is 3, y is 45. When t is 3, s is 45. We already did this. We just did it a different way. So now we're going to evaluate s of 2. And s of 2 into the equation is 5 times 2 quantity squared, which is 5 times 4, which is 20. So that was all in preparation of doing the problem. So over here, we just plug in 45 minus 20 over 1. So what's 45 minus 20? Isn't that 25? And guess what that means? That means 25 feet per second. So what's going on here? They're saying that the distance in feet traveled by a ball rolling down the hill is given by this. So isn't this saying that between 2 and 3 seconds, the ball is rolling 25 feet per second?
Yes.
Crazy, huh? So between 2 and 3 seconds, the ball is rolling 25 feet. This ball is rolling fast. Okay, now this is the same problem. I'm just going to do another part B. Okay, now they're saying t sub 1 is 2 seconds to t sub 2, which is 2.5 seconds. And we do have a decimal, which means we can use the calculator if we need to. So once again, I'm going to write down the formula delta S over delta T, and that's equal to S of T sub 2 minus S of T sub 1, which is the change in Y, over the change in X, which is T sub 2 minus T sub 1. We were talking about velocity. Velocity is speed. So what we do is we put in the numbers. So this would be S of 2.5 minus S of 2 from what's given, divided by 2.5 minus 2. So we're working with the same function, y equals 5t squared, and we're going to evaluate S of 2.5. So this would be 5 times 2.5 quantity squared. So can you help me out, because I don't have my calculator? What's 2.5 times 2.5?
$6.5.
Thank you. Okay, and finally, what is 6.25 times 5?
$31.25.
Thank you. All right, so that's the first one. So now we evaluate S of 2. So that would be into this, 5 times 2 quantity squared. I don't need a calculator for this. 5 times 4 is 20. So back to my problem, S of 2.5 is 31.25 minus S of 2 is 20 divided by 2.5 minus 2. Remember, you line up the decimals, would be 0.5. So now we have 31.25 minus 20. Make sure you line up the decimals. That would be, what is that, 11.25, or you can put it on the calculator. And now you cannot leave a decimal in the denominator. You have to put this on the calculator. So what's 11.25 divided by 0.5?
$22.5.
So guess what that means? That means from 2 seconds to 2.5 seconds, this crazy ball is rolling 22 feet per second. That's fast. So between 2 and 3 seconds, it's rolling 25 feet per second. And between 2 to 2.5 seconds, it's rolling 22 feet per 0.5 feet per second. It's fast. Okay, that is the lesson. And what we're going to do today is we're going to go into the teams and we're going to practice the online problems in the format that I want an assignment. And I do not care what problems you work, but you're going to study from 1.4 to 1.5, whatever lesson. If I were you, I might work lesson 1.5 and do some of these problems and see if you can do them. But I don't care what you do. You just have to agree in your group, in your team, what you're going to do. All right, it's 10:37 and class today is over at 11:05. So you have quite a bit of time to practice. I need one person in the group to open your e-text and click on the globe problems and the exercises. And as a team, we're practicing writing the problems, the original problem, or vertically circle your answer on paper so that we will submit our scratch paper on time and in the format that I want for an exam. Okay, we will not be reporting back. Like I said, when you write the problem, you don't have to write every word, just write down the important information and then work the problem. So basically, the online is you're just putting your answers in to see if they're right. You're showing all your work on your paper on every problem. All right, I'll see you in the teams. Like I said, class is over 11:05. If you need help, let me know. All right, I'll see you in the teams.